Hello and welcome. Today I am going to show you how I make my candle, incense, and oil blend for Mabon and the autumn equinox. So first I have some beeswax in front of me, beeswax sheet. This is a dark red in person, and I just want to make sure that it's pliable, that I can bend it, that it's at room temperature, so when I roll it up it doesn't break on me. First we're going to add some Scotch pine essential oil. And all of the incense for herbs and oils and crystals and colors that I'm using are associated with Mabon or Mabon, depending on how you pronounce it. Next, I'm going to add some benzoin. And as always, be aware of your viscosity of your oils, how liquidy they are, how fast they move. For example, benzoin is a resin, so it is very thick and doesn't come out very quickly compared to the Scotch pine that came out pretty rapidly. Then I'm going to add some patchouli. I have some dark patchouli. And I am just going to add a dash of clove, since the spice oils are very potent. I don't want them to overpower the woodsy blend and the benzoin of the other oils. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of cinnamon. Again, probably just 2 drops of each of these so that we don't have too much going on. All right, then I'm going to move the essential oils around. I'm just going to move the beeswax around and let them collect into those little pockets on the beeswax. Just because these are spice oils, I don't want to get too much on my hands without them being diluted. So next we're going to add a few herbs. So first I have some patchouli. And we will add just a sprinkling. And I'm also going to add a little bit of white sage. These are sticks and leaves, so I'm going to pull out a leaf here and break it up. Add some of the sticks. They will melt with the candle. And lastly, I'm going to add just a little bit of pine bark. This is very thin pieces of pine bark. Just put a few on here. Next, we'll take our wick and go from the bottom and all the way to the top, so that you know that your wick goes down the length of your candle. And then I'm going to push it into the wax, help it stick. Make sure you have some at the top so that you can burn it. And then I am going to roll this up and just do your very best at getting all those herbs in there. Squish down the end here and the bottom so that none of the oils or herbs fall out. There we have our candle. I'm going to go ahead and put this inside of our candle holder. And there we go. Next, I am going to add a few crystals around the candle. First is some banded agate. Next is some carnelian. And then some red tiger's eye. You can charge the crystal with your energies and intent. And there's our candle. Next, we will make our incense. So I have my incense bowl here. And before we add to this bowl, I'm going to pull out my mortar and pestle. And I first have some myrrh resin that I want to crush up in the mortar and pestle. So I'm just going to add a little bit, just enough for my incense. Let's go ahead and crush this up. You want to crush up your resins so that they break down and are easier to burn. Having the powdered resin will help your herbs to smolder while you burn your incense, especially if you're using fire or charcoal disc. Oh. Myrrh is a little sticky. All right, that looks about good. Go ahead now and add this to our incense bowl. There we go. Next, I am going to add some more patchouli. And I like to make just enough incense for my ritual purposes. We're going to add some white sage. So for this, I'm going to pick out a few of these to crush up and add. Next, I'm going to add some pine bark. And then some cloves. Go ahead and give this a stir. Mix that resin in with the rest of our herbs. Get everything nice and mixed together. All right. And there is our incense blend. I'm also going to put a piece of banded agate in the incense to help charge it. With the crystal energies, you can also charge your incense blend with any intentions that you have for Mabon. We'll put that right here to the side. Or maybe we'll put it over here. That works better. And next, we are going to make our oil blend. I have the tiny little amber jar, and I also do have my cap with the seal put inside, and then a dropper lid to put on top. If you would like to have drops come out instead of pouring out, you can use the dropper cap. So we have our little funnel here. And first I'm going to add a few crystals. I think I'll take out the funnel to do this. Whoops. So first we have some carnelian. We'll just put a couple in here. I said a couple, didn't I? All right, I've gone ahead and put about 4 little pieces in there. And then I have some, this is also technically carnelian. It is red agate, but this is a little bit different than what I normally see of carnelian. We have the more gem quality orange carnelian, but this is a bit more of red agate. And yes, I know red agate and carnelian are the same crystal. There you go. We'll find a couple here that we can fit in. Always make sure that the crystals that you are using for any water or oil-based items are non-water soluble, meaning that they will not dissolve in water. All right, so now we're going to put our essential oils in. I am going to start with the spices first. I want to make sure I get a good blend. So I'll add some cinnamon. I'm just going to add 1 drop of cinnamon. And I'm just going to add 1 drop of clove. Again, spice oils are very potent. They will overpower all the other scents that you have in your blend if you use too much. Then I'm going to add, I'll say about 1 drop of dark patchouli as well. Dark patchouli is more potent of a scent than light patchouli, so I want to add just a little bit of that for that nice earthy soil scent. And most of my blend, I'm going to use these 2 oils. So we're going to use Scotch Pine. I'm going to add about 6 drops. And then we're going to add probably about 4 drops of benzoin. Benzoin is a nice alternative to vanilla. Kind of smells like vanilla extract. Again, be aware of the viscosity. This is a resin, so it's a bit thicker. Comes out slower. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take out the funnel, and let's go ahead and smell this. Give it a shake and smell. It's very lovely. I can smell the spices and the patchouli. I can smell the resin of the pine, but I want a little bit more. So I'm going to add a little bit more Scotch pine, about 3 more drops. I really want that pine to come through. There we go. And I'm going to add about 2 more drops of the benzoin. Just to get that sweetness to come through a little bit more. All right. Let's give that a try. Lovely. And be aware that when you're making your essential oil blends, you have to be aware of the aromatherapy, and that is the top, middle, and base note. So the spices are going to be the strong top note, what you're going to smell first. The middle notes were the Scotch pine, and in this case, a little bit of the patchouli. And then the base notes, the notes that you'll smell at the very end, will be the benzoin and patchouli. So we have a nice spice forest blend with a little bit of that sweetness at the end. I am going to go ahead and top this off. So as you can see, it will show you. We've only have, if I can get it, one sec. You can see how just about here is where we have the oil blend. Let's go ahead and top it off the rest of the way with carrier oil. And carrier oil is used just to help top off your oil blend so you're not having to fill an entire bottle with essential oils. So I'm going to be using some sweet almond oil. I'm holding the funnel because I don't want the funnel to take up the volume in the bottle and then add too much carrier oil. All right. Let's go ahead and give that a shake and a sniff. Oh, lovely. I can smell that pine. I'm going to add my dropper top. I want it just to come out with a slight drop, little drops instead of pouring out. And there we have our oil blend for Mabon as well. Oopsie. So there we have our candle, incense, and oil blend for Mabon at autumn equinox to use for ritual purposes. Thank you for watching. Have a good day and a good night. Blessed be.